World peace, world peace, world peace. Climate stability, climate stability, climate stability. Universal happiness, universal happiness, universal happiness. I thought I'd give it a try. Those are pretty good 3 wishes. I got the lamp out today. Happy Hanukkah, or first day of Hanukkah. For those who observe Hanukkah. If you've read my my book, The Key to Solomon's Key, where I discuss the historicity of matters pertaining to Scripture vis-a-vis empirical history, you'll know that many of the so-called historical events that take place in Scripture likely didn't occur in any way, shape, form as they've been enshrined in Scripture. So in other words, there probably wasn't a Passover, the way we think of historical events, placing Moses in Egypt and stuff like that. So much of that scriptural history is just that, religious mythology. That, of course, myths are truer than history, so that it shouldn't bother anybody to challenge the historicity of legends that supposedly took place thousands of years ago. Be that as it may, Hanukkah, the festival of Hanukkah, and the events, the scriptural and historic events that swirl around Hanukkah, actually, in empirical history, there's a good foundation of the events surrounding the miracle of Hanukkah, where once the Jews had recaptured the temple from infidel hands, and they rededicated it, the lamp that illuminated the temple appeared to have only enough oil to keep burning for a very short time, a day or something. But they lit it up anyway as part of the dedication of the temple, and it lasted for 8 days, which seemed like a miraculous thing. But anyway, happy Hanukkah, everybody. But I know how it is. A miracle like that could happen, because Constance and I had a hash pipe in our hippie days. Okay, it was beautiful, and it was stone. It was a stone pipe, and it was shaped sort of like a small disc, sort of an elongated disc. And it felt really good in your hands, and it was made out of stone. And it had a little bowl in it, little concave part, and then, of course, a hole through it and everything else. Well, during our early hippie days, we were literally blessed with friends who were colleagues of Timothy Leary and the Brotherhood of Eternal Love that was headquartered right there in Laguna Beach. And they're wonderful wonderful people. It was a golden age of hippiedom. But anyway, we were struggling musicians. Well, struggling musicians with a recording contract. But we really couldn't afford, to spend money on. We never spent money on marijuana or hashish. And some of the best hashish in the world passed through that pipe. And after a few years, that concave bowl became so lined with the essence of all of that fabulous, exotic, delicious hashish, and of course the little, the whole hash pipe became imbued with the essence. So long after we stopped, smoking hashish on a daily basis, which we did as we were recording our albums and things, and long after that, where just every once in a while we would, relax after dinner or something, we'd just light up the pipe. And year after year after year after year, that empty hash pipe got us exquisitely high. That's my Hanukkah story. That's my Hanukkah story. Well, as you can, they'll probably cut that out. As you can see, I'm on an hour early today, because whether for good or ill, we want to watch something that's being broadcast on television at 10 o'clock our time today. So we left off with the section, the small book, if you will, of the precession of the equinoxes and the equinox of the gods. And we've gone through the last few astrological ages, which are those periods of 2,600 years that are demarcated by the sun's retrograde passage through the zodiac. But now we're going to discuss magical aeons. Now, there's a lot of confusion because there are many magicians that are operating under the assumption at the moment that the dawning of the age of Aquarius this time is also coincidental within a 100-year period or so, 100-year give or take, with the magical aeon changing. And according to Crowley, there's been 3 magical aeons within human memory. And just for convenience sake, he's assigned them the titles of the 3 principal gods of Egypt: Isis, Osiris, and Horus. And I'm going to read you this morning, in our early reading, what I have to say about the Aeon of Isis. That's 2 aeons ago. And in the footnote here, it says, Isis, Osiris, and Horus archetypically represent mother, father, and child, respectively. The Aeon of Isis. The formula of the great goddess it is impossible for us to pinpoint the dawn of the Aeon of Isis. As we learned in our discussion of astrological ages, evidence of the worship of the great goddess is found as far back as the age of Leo. In this period, when humanity was struggling with the first attempts at social intercourse, the most awesome mystery to excite the imagination was the power of woman. Woman was the most godlike. More than any other observable phenomena, she was indeed the most godlike. Each month, coinciding with the rhythmic cycles of the moon, she issued blood. Yet miraculously, she did not die. When the cycle of bleeding stopped, her body changed. Her breasts and belly swelled for 9 moons until she burst with water and new life. Because the earliest Aeon agers were as yet unaware of the cause and effect relationship between sex and birth, it appeared that woman alone was the source of life. Her life-giving powers were not limited to blood and birth, for from her breasts flowed milk, a rich white blood to nourish and sustain the new life she created. Woman was the human embodiment of the earth, which appeared to spontaneously bring forth the vegetation and animals needed to sustain the race. It was the most self-evident fact of life. Earth was mother. Mother was life. God was woman. To be in harmony with the formula of the great goddess was profoundly simple. And as long as it was universally perceived that life and nourishment came directly from the earth and from woman, all successful endeavors, magical practices, and religious expressions did her homage. This perceived reality was deeply impressed upon our ancestors' minds, and long after they solved the mystery of where babies came from, they clung tenaciously to the outward forms of goddess worship, and based all social and religious institutions on her formula. Eventually, however, as our understanding of the universe grew around us, we were confronted with a more complicated worldview and new, unsettling mysteries. And for those, we'll discuss the Aeon of Osiris, and we'll discuss it tomorrow. Also, during this period of Hanukkah, these 8 crazy days, I'm going to talk a bit each day about the lamp as a magical tool. Now, you know we've got the 4 fundamental weapons of the magician: the wand for fire, the cup for water, the sword for air, and the disc for earth. Those are the elements that form the arms and legs of a pentagram. But the head of the pentagram is spirit, the quintessential, literally, quintessential 5th element, the special one that holds the other elements together and keeps them apart. It's the positive and negative alternating current. And the lamp represents that essence. Okay, so it'd be the wand, cup, sword, and disc with the lamp on top. Now, with Hanukkah, we see an 8-branched candlestick or candle holder, and you light a candle for every day of the 8-day miracle. You put it out on your picture window if you have it, and every day you light another. And there's a wonderful little family ceremony and prayers that accompany that act. But the lamp in the story in the temple, the lamp of the temple, was a menorah. And a menorah has 7 branches, 3 against 3 and 1 in the middle. And that mystery, the mystery of the menorah, of which the Hanukkah lamp is called. As a matter of fact, the 8-branched candelabra is not technically a menorah. Right off the top of my head, I don't know the Hanukkah aura or something like that. But anyway, we'll talk more in the days to come about the Kabbalistic treasures that are revealed in the mysteries, if you will, of the menorah. Okay, that's it for today. And tomorrow I'll be discussing the age of Osiris, which should be familiar to all of us because the more negative qualities of the degenerated formula of the age of Osiris is currently destroying the world, which should be of interest to all of us. Until tomorrow, should be on time tomorrow. Continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.